Hello, everyone. So, today the point of discussion is strategies of effective communication. We'll discuss what are the strategies of effective communication. Now, let me tell you what is communication first. Communication is the process of interaction between two or more individuals. Now, all of us communicate in our day to day lives, and it is the basis of many relationships throughout our lives. Today, proper communication is akin to success. So we should learn what are these strategies of effective communication. These are certain features of effective communication that you can see over here. Do not monopolize the conversation. Do not give a long winding lecture on yourself whenever you're speaking to someone. Let the other person speak as well. Do not concentrate too much on yourself and be very verbose or wordy whenever you are speaking. Do not talk too loudly. Be attentive when someone else is speaking. Remember names. Try to remember names. All of us like if someone calls us or refers to us by a name. We feel special. Don't be a bore and talk only about yourself. Don't interrupt when someone else is speaking. Of course, there are ways of interrupting as well, but cutting in several times whenever a person is speaking doesn't look good. It doesn't put you in a very good spot as such. So these are the courtesy. Moving on, be an active listener. What we do whenever we are communicating is we do not listen properly. We should be very good listeners. That is an art of good listening, actually, and all of us should inculcate that habit in us. Smile and nod to show that you understand and that you are happy to hear what they have to say. Make eye contact. This encourages the person to continue to speak. Your posture says a lot about your attention and interest in what your companion has to say. Leaning in slightly shows an attentive listener. So the way you are standing, okay, the way your posture is very important. So you have to show that you are actually listening. Like whenever we're teaching in the class, there are some students who nod, okay, who nod in this way. So we understand that those people are listening to us. They are actually getting the message that we're trying to pass on. In the same way, you have to conduct yourself in the same way whenever you are listening to some people. Moving on, know when to be silent. This is a very important and imperative thing that you need to understand and you need to utilize and apply. Know when to be silent. All of us know when to speak, but seldom people know when to be silent. It is gracious to allow your companion to say what they have to say without interruption. It shows you are listening and it's a sign of respect and empathy. Okay, so you should know that I have to stop over here, okay, and I have to let the other person speak. I do not have to go on speaking in a continuous way. Self disclosure is how much you need to disclose. See, if we are too much of if you too much create a kind of wall around us, people will we will become opaque personalities. People won't be able to reach out to us. So it is very important that we disclose certain things from our life so that the other person also feels that it is also my responsibility that I also disclose or I also say certain things from my life. That is how relationships are forged. That is how friendships are created. But there is a loop side to it as well. You should know that where to stop. It's not that at the first go you're meeting a person for the first time and you disclose all your secrets of your life to him or her. Okay, so you should know how much to disclose. Okay, you have to disclose certain things from your life, like you can be very general, like I love to eat chow mein, I love to eat Chinese, I don't like English movies, or I like Hindi movies. So be very general whenever you're disclosing, so that you do not talk too much and you do not disclose too many information, too much of information from your life to the other person, because you do not know the other person quite well. If you know the other person, then it's okay. You can, pour your heart out. Suppose you do not know the other person well, so you should restrict yourself to the amount of information that you are disclosing. Now, criticizing, stereotyping, and generalizing. This is, you have to remember that we should not criticize, stereotype, or generalize whenever you are speaking to someone. Be careful not to hold on to preconceived notions about people or things. We often have a tendency to see what we want to see, forming an impression from a small amount of impression or one experience, and assuming that to be highly representative of the whole person or situation. Like, there are certain things, stereotypes, like, people from Tamil Nadu or people from the southern India, they are very strict. Okay, people from the Punjab, okay, those who belong to Punjab, they eat a lot. Okay, so these are certain preconceived notion that do remain with us. Okay, we have to allay, or we have to shed such kind of stereotyping or generalizing, because it creates hindrances in a proper way of communication, in the channel of communication. These are the obstacles, these are the hindrances that stop communication to be effective. So we have to remember that we have to shed such kind of generalizations or stereotyping things that are there. Okay, we have to approach a conversation with an open mind. That is very important. Next, moving on, non-verbal communication. The non-verbal communication has a very large ambit. Okay, non-verbal communication, we have to remember that where we do not use language, such kind of communication is known as non-verbal communication. It can be done through postures, gestures, your body language. Okay, so we have to keep in mind the way we are standing, the way we are sitting, those are postures. Gestures is if you are making some signs through your eyes or hands, those are known as gestures. Suppose I say someone, come here, without saying come here. If I say, this means come here. Okay, so through your gestures, through your postures, and through your body language, the way you conduct yourself, the way your body language is, that conveys a lot of things. Your facial expressions, that should be very good. If you're frowning too much, people will not like to talk to you. Okay, if you have furrowed eyebrows, people will say that, okay, she's tensed about a certain thing. Eye contact should be good, body language should be good, gestures, your voice also tells a lot of things. It's not like how much what you are saying, but how you are saying is important. The same sentence can be spoken in many ways. Okay, so you have to remember that your communication should be proper. You have to remember that the way you are speaking, the other person doesn't get you wrong. Okay, clarify wherever needed, wherever you feel that some clarification should be there, because I might have gone wrong in the way I've spoken. You can always clarify yourself. In the same way, if you're not you're not getting what the other person is speaking out, okay, you can always ask, can you please explain it again? So, okay, so these are the things that you should be keeping in mind whenever you are communicating with someone. Okay, we have to remember that its success is led by the power of communication. So how you communicate, it creates paves a path for you to reach the zenith of success. That is why we need to communicate properly. Thank you.